everyone, this is Marie Camenares, and I'll be doing a demo today for you on this beautiful beach scene from Sayville Beach, and this is going to be with acrylic paint. So what you'll need here, I have ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, and some white, basically for the sky and the water, and a little bit of burnt sienna and yellow. You'll need some water and a few varieties of flat brushes to do the job, and some paper towels for cleanup. So as I said, this is the scene that we're going to interpret with a painting, and let's get started. So what we want to do is dip our brush in water, go into the ultramarine blue and a little bit of white, mixing it up right here, and we'll start with our sky, and we'll just put down a basic quick application of the ultramarine blue and the white, and not to worry about how this is going on, because we're going to then do a layer of different colors in the white for the clouds. We're going to add a little of the cerulean blue in here. This will be basically where our water is going to be, and this is just the interpretation of the picture, so we're not getting down with anything of an exact science here. But we'll add in a little bit more white in here where the indications of the clouds will be, and we'll also add a little bit more ultramarine blue to make an establishment of where the horizon of the water will be. Okay, we can add a little bit of white into that water as well, because we have a little bit of highlight right here. And what we want to do is make sure we still adhere to the 1/3 rule, where we are doing like 1/3 of this painting is sky, and about 1/3 is water down in here, and then 1/3 will be where the sand is. So I'm going to rinse my brush off with water. I'm going to pick up my burnt sienna, and I'm going to mix a little bit of white into that burnt sienna to get the color of the sand. I'm rinsing the brush off and drying it now, and a little bit of white and burnt sienna mixed together, and we can just apply that very loosely for our sand. Where the water meets the sand is a little bit darker, so I'm going to blend in a little bit of the blue with that. There we go. A little bit more white here, a little bit variation of the color of the sand. And we'll rinse our brush off, because we're going to add a little bit of burnt sienna and ultramarine down at the bottom where the sand is. We have a lot of shadows from the grasses, so we just want to add that in. And I haven't changed brushes. I'm still using the same large brush. It covers a big area. Alright. And I'm also going to add a little bit of ultramarine blue with the burnt sienna, so so I can just make a better distinction of a little landmass here that we're going to put in. Right in there. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush off now. I'm going to switch to another brush, a little bit smaller in size, as you can see here, and I'm going to just tap it into the white and try and get a little bit of cloud formation in here. You can do any type of clouds you like here. Alrighty. And what I also want to do is I want to take still a smaller brush like this, because I want to distinguish a little bit better that horizon line in the water. So I'm going to just take the ultramarine blue and I'm just going to make this just a little bit darker in here. And I'm going to add a little bit more ultramarine blue to just this side of the water, just to show a little bit of variation and that there's a shadow right in here in our painting. You don't have to be very exact with this. Because we want our reeds to really stand out. Rinsing my brush out, I'm going to take a little bit of the white and the cerulean blue, and I'm just going to add a little bit of variation in the color of the sky with the cerulean blue. And this is going to make the clouds pop out a little bit. Just a touch of that ultramarine right under the white on the cloud. Alright, let's leave it at that for the moment. We want to work on that landmass now. So I'm going to take a little bit of the burnt sienna and a little touch of the yellow, and just a little bit of the blue so we could come up with a green. Nice kind of mossy green. And we're going to just add that to this area. just want it to indicate like there's a landmass there. Okay. Always come back to that later. I'm rinsing my brushes off, and I'm going to put in a little bit of shadows where the reeds are going to cast shadow on the sand. So I'm going to lighten that sand up just a little tiny bit. Right in here, so it would really show up the shadows nicely. And I'm going to add a little bit more shadow to the brush down in here. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the cerulean blue, mixed with a little bit of the burnt sienna, and I'm going to lay in my shadow of the reeds. Just a few very simple lines. I'm going to rinse my brush off now, and I'm going to mix a little bit of our brilliant yellow with some of the white. Very, very touch of the burnt sienna in there. Because what I'm trying to make is the color for the stems of the reeds. I find it easier to put the stems in first. Okay. So we're going to come up very gently. And just add a few lines in. Okay. Got our lines added. And I'm going to take a little burnt sienna, the same brush, you can use the same brush, and we're going to just drop in some of the tops of the reeds, almost just touching it, just touching the canvas. nice to vary the heights too. And basically what we're going to do then is take a small little brush, and with the ultramarine mixed with the burnt sienna, you get a pretty dark color going on there. We can add in just a little bit of shadow. Depending how involved you want to get with it, you can add a few more strokes of the beads coming through. And basically there you have it. Thanks very much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Here's our completed picture.